All right, thanks, Chris. I'm live here in what looks like a Sam's Club warehouse, but we're actually here at the Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia. Jim Case is the branch manager here, but Frank Richards is the CEO and president, and you started this entire operation your freshman year of college. First off, how did you come up with the idea, and how has it grown into all of this?
Well, of course, we didn't start like this. It was, when we were in college, some fraternity brothers and I, we saw an opportunity in the community. A lot of the local charities and things were having a lot of difficulty finding food, and we saw just a constant barrage of, food drives and things like that going on throughout the community, and just never was a real steady source in the region for products to be able to come in. They were feeding thousands of people every month, and we knew there had to be a better way to get it going. So the food bank network back in the early 90s was really in its early emerging stages. So we saw it as an opportunity to bring in the national organization, which is Feeding America, into the region of South Georgia. And we started in a little bitty small 10,000 square foot warehouse. It was an old meat packing plant that was built in the 1800s. The walls were actually built out of cork, which was pretty neat. And just saw an opportunity to bring a lot of product and work with local companies to bring the product in and get it ready for local charities to distribute.
Absolutely. Clearly you have grown a little bit from that first original meat packing warehouse, but food banks that I'm familiar with, a variety of foods on the shelves. Many times you'll have multiple cans of green beans or such. But, we're talking cases and cases of food here at the warehouse. Jim, how do you get all these cases of food?
Some of this is acquisition through SNAP, which is the state program, and then USDA program that we're part of. So that's the food you see behind me now. Okay. And that food is mostly distributed out through agencies in the community or our food boxes. Then our other product food is rescued food, which is from your corporate donors, Walmart, Sam's, Winn-Dixie's, Publix's. Okay. So that food is stored elsewhere. But these foods here are actually eligibility based. So therefore we have to monitor them more closely, but they're available to the agencies to use to give out to the end user.
Again, the Second Harvest Food Bank of Southwest Georgia is the biggest food bank here in the area. We're going to be learning all about it live here on Good Day this morning. Chris, back to you. We're at a construction site, but still at the Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia. Now, Frank, Kids Cafe, future home of it right here, but what is it?
Well, Kids Cafe is a program we started back in the early 90s down in Valdosta, and it's basically an after-school feeding program for children. And it encompasses several different parts. Number one, it provides kids a safe place to go after school where they're not at home by themselves. Sure. It provides them a hot meal with a serving of milk so that they get good nutrition. They get enrichment activities at the different sites that they get to eat at. And then they also get homework assistance, which hopefully by the end of the first year, most of the children that are enrolled in these programs gain a grade point and a half in their GPA. So it's designed to do that. And right now we operate 3 commercial kitchens in South Georgia. And this one coming online here will actually move from the small church that we're doing it in to this production facility. And in Albany right now, we're feeding about 650 kids a day. Wow. When we open up here, we'll immediately jump to 1,500 with the capacity to go to 5,000. Wow. So a huge opportunity here for this community.
I didn't even realize there were that many kids in Albany. Goodness. But none of that is going to go on right here. This is the commercial kitchen, or kind of the production. So what is going to go on here?
Well, this kitchen, kind of the way the Kids Cafe program works, is this is what's known as a commercial production kitchen. Okay. It's nothing but a room full of ovens and combi steamers and all that, where all the food is actually cooked and produced, and it's put into specialized catering containers called Cambros. Then the product is actually taken out and delivered to organizations like the Boys and Girls Club centers and things of that nature, and churches and after-school places where kids are already going to each day. And, all the children are qualified through an income eligibility statement that are part of the program, so they have to show that they're low-income children. And, of course, through doing that process, they're going to get the same kind of meal that they would get at school during the daytime, which most of them just don't have those resources in the evenings. A lot of families really struggle at night, and, the main thing is these kids are getting a hot, nourishing meal before they go home. They're going to sleep well, they're going to do better on homework, the next day they're going to get up and be able to concentrate in school, and as a result, they're going to become much more productive people in our communities.
Awesome. Wonderful. So here we are, looking like some shovels. We got a pile of dirt right here next to me. Not too much looking like a kitchen. When is this expecting to be open?
Well, the kitchen, you probably won't take but about another 60 days to actually complete.
Wow.
The biggest piece of it will be, most of the construction work here will be done in the next 4 weeks.
Okay.
And then the equipment, will be the big thing, waiting on the equipment to come in. So once all that comes in, we get it hooked up, ready to go. We'll move production straight over here and get it going.
There you go. Very, very soon is when it's going to be opening. That's what I'm hearing. All right. Well, I've been live here at the Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia. We're not done yet. We're going to tell you even more about how great this organization is. First, back to you guys in the studio. All right, thanks, Chris. I am live here at the Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia. Frank Richards here is kind of the mastermind behind all of this. But here we are standing in Construction Central, future home of the Kids Cafe, feeding 600 kids now. You said 5,000 kids when this is finished?
Yeah, that's our capacity that we can grow to within the organization.
Amazing.
We have 8 sites we feed at right now in the region. That will grow immediately to about 16 once this facility opens up. And it's not just in the Albany area right here. This facility serves a 9-county region. So the Kids Cafe sites will actually be located in like Pelham and Camilla and Americus and Plains and Cordele and a lot of the different regions. So a lot of the jobs we'll be creating over here in Albany in this production kitchen will come in. I mean, professional culinary staff come in, and they will be producing and cooking these meals every day, packaging them, and then shipping them in our vans to the different locations throughout South Georgia.
Awesome. So, I mean, not only are we talking about feeding, the children of here in Southwest Georgia, the families of Southwest Georgia, but creating jobs. That is huge and definitely what this area needs.
Absolutely. I mean, it takes people to make the whole process work. Our organization throughout the 30 counties in South Georgia that we serve, we employ almost 40 full-time staff people that work within the organization. And but we do the work of about 80.
Wow.
So it's one of those things in the nonprofit realm. There's not many places that have the efficiency that we do as an organization. I mean, we operate at less than a 3% administrative cost, which means that when the public gives us $1, 97 cents of it immediately goes back out in a program. So there's no other program that can match that kind of numbers.
Absolutely.
So very excited about what we're able to do in South Georgia.
And all staying right here in South Georgia.
All staying right here in South Georgia. We don't have the issue of having to send hundreds of thousands of dollars a year back to a national organization, even though we're members of Feeding America. That's not how the program works. When you donate money locally, it stays right here locally in the community.
You mentioned that this was here, in Southwest Georgia, but this Kids Cafe, is a national trend that's kind of taking off.
It is. We opened our first program in '94 with the Boys and Girls Club in Valdosta, and it was the very first Kids Cafe to open in a Boys and Girls Club. Now nationally, there's over 10,000 of these that operate within Boys and Girls Club units throughout the country, and all because it started right here in little old South Georgia.
That is so exciting. You mentioned professional culinary, so this isn't just mystery meat, throwing some things on a tray or anything. I mean, this is good food.
It absolutely is. The kitchen here in Albany is what we call basically it's a quick heat kitchen where you've got ovens and things like that where mostly frozen foods, hamburger patties, chicken nuggets, things like that are heated up and then combined with fresh vegetables and fruits and milk and things like that. But our giant culinary facilities, which are, over 3,000 square foot kitchens in Valdosta, and the new one that's opening in Thomasville next year in our new facility down there is 5,000 square feet. We actually employ full-time culinary staff that are professionally trained chefs, and they take raw ingredients, which is great because you get a farmer's market or a little grocery store that wants to donate leftover produce and things like that. They can come in with their culinary background and produce some very high-quality meals, and our goal is we keep meal production at $1 a meal.
Wow.
So you can only imagine, if we can keep that kind of efficiency going, we'll be able to feed a lot of people.
Absolutely, but still getting a well-balanced meal, as you were saying.
Absolutely. It meets 100% of the nutrition requirements of the state for these meals that go out to kids.
That is so exciting. Well, we've been learning all about how they feed the kids here, but we're going to find out just how many and how they feed all of Southwest Georgia, all the families of Southwest Georgia when we come back. But first, Kelly, into you. Welcome back to Good Day, everyone. I'm here live once again at Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia. Jim Case is the branch manager here. And Jim, we've got some food, but we also have a bunch of different sized cardboard boxes. First off, what is this? Because this looks a little more familiar to me than the ones behind me.
Those are our donor boxes. Those are the boxes that we encourage civic groups and companies to take to put in their facilities and do food drives with. Also, that's the box we use for our Hunger 101 program within the school. And that's a program in which we go into the schools and have a fund drive within the school system, teach them about nutrition, but also have a food drive. The winner gets a pizza party. So that's always encouraging in the schools. It's always popular. So that's something we're going to implement this year in Dougherty County and other surrounding areas is the Hunger 101 program.
And definitely some motivation to get those kids to donate school. All right, so we got the official donation, I guess, drop box.
Right.
And then here I'm going to push this out of the way because back here, little smaller boxes.
More pertinent box, though, actually,
Okay,
even
I
though
like
it's
that.
a smaller box. This is actually the box we use when we do our food drops with organizations. It gives them an opportunity to have something they can hand immediately. It comes with a week's worth of food in here to feed a family of 4. As like you said, the various products that we have on the table. But these boxes average here alone anywhere from 12 to 1,800 boxes a month go out of this facility alone.
That is awesome.
And, these boxes are very important. A lot of volunteers come in and help us build these boxes. That's why we ask for volunteers to come, because it allows them to put their hands on the food that's actually going to be put into the end user's hand, and they actually get to see what they're doing when they're feeding the individual.
All right, so is this kind of a sample of what a box would be filled with? We got peanut butter, raisins, bunch of beans, canned vegetables, mac and cheese. Is this what would be in a typical box for one of these?
Yes, it is, and it's because we try to do our proteins, our vegetables, our fruits, our meats, and we try to also build and educate with nutrition, because a lot of them, there is probably 10 to 1 as far as grocery stores to fast food restaurants.
Sure.
So they're not getting their hands on this when they go to McDonald's. They're not getting their hands on this when they go to the Krispy Kreme. And so that is why this box is so pertinent, to put it in the family's hands to somehow or another increase the good food within that family unit.
Definitely very nutritious here. I mean, of course, it's going to taste good, but again, that nutrition aspect of it.
It's so important. It's so important. It all comes down to trying to build a healthier end user. A healthier individual is going to be a productive individual. It's going to be more likely to work. It's going to be more likely to produce, but also it's going to be less on the medical. If they're going to get healthier and stay healthier. So that's what we try to do with our food boxes.
All right. So lastly, what do you need the people of Southwest Georgia to come together and help you all out with?
Basically volunteering. Come in and visit us out here at 3011 Clark Avenue in Albany, out here in East Albany. Give us a call at 229-883-5959 and let them come see our facility, volunteer, and become part of what Second Harvest is trying to do and investing in the community.
Absolutely. And definitely come down to visit, because I was floored with how much food they have, the amount of space that they have. They are definitely doing wonderful things. Live here at Second Harvest of Southwest Georgia, Chris, back into you.
All right.